Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm a hotel AI expert, and I've spent my career working in modern hospitality operations and performance support. It's a real pleasure to welcome all of you from Europe Hotel School to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a crucial topic, crisis communication. Because in our industry, a crisis isn't just an operational problem, it's a human one. We're going to break down exactly how you can lead with real confidence and care when it matters most. You know, this quote right here, it gets to the absolute heart of the matter. When a crisis hits, your hotel completely transforms. It's not just a place for comfort and service anymore. Suddenly, it's a place where guests who are feeling incredibly vulnerable are looking for safety, for reassurance, and for leadership. And your job? Well, your primary role shifts from providing service to managing the emotional state of every single person you come across.
So here's how we're going to tackle this. We'll walk through it in 5 parts. First, we'll talk about why the front office is the emotional epicenter. Then, we'll get into navigating those tricky guest emotions. After that, I'll give you a practical communication framework. We'll discuss the power of your physical presence. And finally, we'll look at the lasting impact of your leadership. It's a clear plan to give you control. Okay, section 1. So, why do we call the front office the emotional epicenter? Well, think about it. In a crisis, it's the natural focal point. It's where everyone gathers, right? They're looking for information, for direction. And in that space, every single word you say, every gesture you make, every bit of your tone, it has a huge psychological impact on everyone watching.
And this right here, this is the crucial mindset shift you have to make. Your guests are no longer just people checking in or asking for a dinner recommendation. They are looking to you for a sense of security and guidance. Stepping up into that role isn't just part of the job description. It's a defining responsibility of true hospitality leadership. You're basically switching gears from providing service to providing psychological support.
All right, let's get into our second section. In a crisis, your guests are probably going to show one of 3 major emotions: fear, anger, or panic. And it is so important to understand that these are not the same thing. Each one needs a very specific, professional approach to manage it effectively. So, let's break them down, one by one.
Fear. This is almost always the first emotion to pop up. You'll see it in people asking the same question over and over. You'll see it in their anxious movements. But here's the key thing to understand about the human brain under stress. It prioritizes safety over logic. Someone who's afraid isn't looking for a complex technical explanation. What they're really searching for is emotional stability from you.
So, how do you provide that stability? Well, this slide is basically your playbook. Your job is to anchor them, maintain that steady eye contact, use a calm, confident voice, give them one clear, simple direction at a time, and reassure them that their safety is your #1 priority. Believe me, that kind of emotional anchor is way more powerful than a flood of facts they can't even process.
Okay, now let's talk about anger. Here's the secret. Anger is almost never the first emotion. It's a secondary reaction. Anger is what happens when that fear we just talked about crashes into a feeling of helplessness. So when a guest raises their voice, it's not a personal attack on you. It's a reaction to their loss of control. And once you get that, you can focus on de-escalating, not defending.
Now, this takes some real professional discipline. Your job is to separate the emotion from the person's intention. Acknowledge what they're feeling, something simple like, "I understand you're frustrated." Then, immediately, you pivot their focus toward a solution. We call this emotional diffusion. It means you have to override that natural instinct to get defensive and instead stay in complete control.
And finally, we have panic. And let me be clear, this is by far the most dangerous emotional state. Why? Because it's contagious. Panic completely shuts down rational thought, and it can spread through a room like wildfire, which can lead to really unpredictable, unsafe behavior. This situation demands immediate, visible leadership.
When people start to panic, they don't respond to suggestions or long-winded explanations. They respond to clear, assertive direction from someone who looks like they're in charge. This is where your physical presence is everything. Stand up straight. Use deliberate, calm hand gestures. Give short, direct commands. Your visible confidence can literally stabilize an entire group and stop chaos in its tracks.
Okay, so managing emotions is one half of the battle. The other half is the actual, practical framework you use to communicate. You see, structure creates a sense of control, and that's exactly what people crave in an uncertain situation.
Your guests will feel so much more secure if they believe there's a plan.
And the foundation of that plan is built on 4 pillars. You can call them the 4 C's: clarity, consistency, control, and calmness. That means simple instructions, one unified message from all staff, keeping the environment orderly, and delivering everything with a calm authority. If you can master these 4, you'll build trust when it matters most. Now, let's talk about timing for a second, because it's a really delicate balance. If you wait too long, rumors and anxiety will fill the vacuum. But if you rush, you can make mistakes. The key is to prioritize. You have to ask yourself, what is the single most important thing they need to know right now to be safe? Deliver that piece of information first. All right, now we're going to elevate this lesson a bit. Because in a crisis, your nonverbal communication, your sheer presence, often speaks way louder than your words. A composed, focused demeanor can reassure guests before you've even said a thing. And on the flip side, if you look anxious, you can amplify their fear instantly. Just look at this comparison. It's night and day, right? On the left, you've got a stable posture, calm movements, consistent eye contact. That all projects control. But on the right, fidgeting, nervous gestures, looking away, that just screams anxiety. Your body language is a tool. You have to make a conscious choice to project confidence, because it will directly shape how everyone else in that room feels. But let's be really clear here. All this authority and structure needs to be balanced with a real human connection. Efficiency without empathy just feels cold. And this doesn't mean you need to have long, emotional heart-to-hearts. A simple, caring tone, a brief acknowledgement like, "I know this is difficult," that's all it takes to show guests that their well-being is genuinely what you care about most.
Okay, let's bring all of this together. Mastering these skills isn't just about surviving a single bad day. It's about preparation, it's about professionalism, and it's about the legacy you create. How you handle a crisis defines not only the outcome of that moment, but the long-term reputation of both you and your hotel.
True readiness, the kind that lets you handle anything, is built on these foundations. Training and role-playing aren't optional extras. They build the muscle memory you need to act decisively without freezing up. Leaders have to be visible. Your teams need emotional support systems to stay resilient. And your message must be totally consistent to keep that trust.
And this is the crucial point I want you to take away. Years from now, guests might forget the exact details of what happened, but they will never forget how they were treated. They remember how it was handled. Your communication can actually transform a terrible event into a powerful demonstration of care, building a kind of loyalty that lasts a lifetime.
So we end with this question for you. This is so much more than just a skill set. This is a defining moment in your career. It's where you prove that hospitality is truly about caring for people, no matter the circumstances. So when the crisis is over and people tell the story, how will your leadership be remembered?